Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Glorious Life on Wheels. If you can hear me, give me a big old thumbs up. Hello, adventurous spirit. Hey, Pam, how's it going? Nora's in the house. She's going to be doing a live demonstration. Oh my goodness. And there's her Instagram. Go over and check her at Norakag at um Instagram. Hey, Crystal and La Gringa. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello, CTV. Oh my goodness. Uh uh who is this? Oh, Crystal says I'll be in and out because I'm working on my van shakedown. Oh, your van shakedown. What is that, Crystal? Oh my goodness. I don't know if I've got the best lighting right now, and we've got some music in the background. There's a guy, what do you call it when they I guess it's called boshing, or whenever they're on the streets performing. So this person, I didn't have time to get to where I wanted to go. So I'm in the parking lot of all things at Target. Oh my goodness. Uh Nora saying, Pam, maybe you could ask one of the moderators to repost the links I just shared later on. I won't be able to as I will be painting. Okay, I'll remember to do that too. Can you see me with these lights on behind me? Let me see. Um, Jessica, can you hit that light over there and see if it's too and put the overhead lights on, please. Oh my goodness, trying to get the right lights. Hey, Brenda Burner. Hey, Blissful Adventures. Hello. Brenda Burner says big thumbs up and hit the like button. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you for that. Yeah, and hit that one off, please. Right. See if it'll work. Hey, Seeking Truth 2001.
These overhead ones right
no,
here.
this one here.
Oh, that one's already on.
I want it off.
Oh, off.
Okay. And sorry, we're trying to get the technical stuff because those lights in the background, I'm going to see if it makes it that's better. I think that's a lot better. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Tampa Barbecue Queens. Oh my goodness. What is your specialty, Tampa Barbecue Queens? Oh my goodness. I could go for some good barbecue right about now. I really could. Hey, Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris says, I'm your Huckleberry. Hey. Margaret Hutchins says, busking. Yes, he's busking out there playing electric violin. Boy, I want to learn how to play the electric violin. There's so many things I want to learn how to do. I was at an event. Hey, Danielle Henry, how's it going? Lisa P. Lily. Hey, little Lily from California. Danielle says, I love watching you and your recipes. Thank you, Danielle. You know, I have a couple of things I really want to do, a couple of cooking videos, but I just haven't been able to get around to it. It seems like so many things come up, and I I have to apologize for last week. Okay, here's what happened. Let me tell you what happened, and I'll get back to the comments in a minute. If I miss your comment, please come back and so I can acknowledge you. But okay, I was at Tiny Fest last week. I am telling you, I was able to interview Randy Jones. That was such a fun interview. And I tell you what, he is just as nice and sincere and real in person as he is on YouTube. He is what a wonderful guy. I just love him. And he has invited me to come out and visit his tiny home villages in Newport, Tennessee. So I do plan to see if I can't do that sometime this summer, depending on what else is going on. But anyhow, I was out there and I was interviewing all these people. But when I got there, I realized I had forgotten to bring my hotspot, my mobile hotspot. And I got there, my MiFi, and they didn't have a public MiFi. So I thought, okay, you know what? I'll figure this out. I'll try and figure it out. And we had gotten there later than I anticipated. And by the time I got in the middle of the interviews, it was just like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do this. So I am so sorry. And then last week, everything that was happening in North Carolina, and then trying to get the Red Cross interviews. By the way, have you guys seen the interview on the prepping with Red Cross? They were so kind to let me interview them. That interview was actually already in the works. We were going to do it the week before the North Carolina incident at the substations happened, and then the person I was going to interview someone else, and he was sick that day, so he had to cancel. And the timing was such that it just happened to follow me doing a report on the substations, and then so the preparedness and kits just followed perfectly after that. And then I have another interview with someone else at the Red Cross that I'm hoping to get edited tonight and up on Monday, because it's going to share some things that the Red Cross does and some help. I didn't know that the Red Cross, if your RV is your home, I thought that the Red Cross only helped, like, big, huge disasters like hurricanes, earthquakes, that kind of big, giant thing, floods, but they don't. One of the main things that they respond to is home fires. And if your home is rendered uninhabitable and you have nowhere to live, they come there and provide emergency assistance. And guess what? If you are living in your RV and that should happen, it would some disaster, right? There's certain qualifications, but if it caught fire, God forbid, so hopefully you'll never need to use it. But you could call the Red Cross and they provide emergency assistance, and they would also hook you up with case managers and different things to try to help you get back on your feet. I had no idea about that. Did you guys know that? But anyhow, Monday I will be doing an interview with someone who's going to share that and some other things, and he's going to talk about some of the causes of these things. So, but anyhow, Tampa Barbecue Queen says, I'm a fellow newbie to van life and I'm a content creator too. Garden, craft, and barbecue more. Oh, cool. Very cool. Well, we're going to shout everyone out in a minute, Tampa. Thank you so much for being here. Amy says, Globies, hey, are you painting? Yes, she is. Nora is going to paint. Amy says, did you know I'm a painter too? I did not know that. I don't know much about art. That's Nora's thing, but what is your medium? Is it watercolor? It's an oil? And Doris Williams is saying hello. Hey, Blue Bear. Hey, CC Camper Lady says, hi, Carol and everyone from the minivan by the lake. Oh, wow. That sounds like a wonderful, wonderful place to be. Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris says, barbecue friends, I'll bring my smoker. Everything can be made over a real fire. Hey, come on out to Quartzsite in January. I'm going to be there for probably about 2 weeks in January. I know from the 18th to 21st, because that's when I'm having my meetup and my birthday celebration. But I'm planning to also attend the women's RTR and part of the other RTR. So if you're going to be in the area, come on out, Rocky Mountain Huckleberry, and let's have some good old barbecue. Oh my goodness. Hey, Lily from California says, I missed you. Was in North Carolina for the holiday. Oh, wow. You were in North Carolina for the holiday. Well, I wasn't in North Carolina. I was just reporting on North Carolina, what happened there. Although I may have to slip into North Carolina real quick the beginning of the month in January. I don't know. A family member there, not my brother, but needs some assistance, and I'm trying to organize it from here, but I don't know if it's not working. I don't know if it's how well it's going to work. And me and Donald are trying to coordinate it, but we'll see. Tampa Barbecue Queen says, Rocky, I have a double barrel smoker grill on wheels. Oh my goodness. Hey, Cece saying hello from Florida. Oh my goodness. Amy says, hit that button, Globies, for Carol. Thank you. Yes, hit that like button. I always forget it. Nora Arcuda 2001 says, yes, Amy, I will be painting. Valerie Hancock Gallen says, would they help if you live in a van? Yes. If your van or RV, if that is your home and you live there and something happened, God forbid, but it burned up and, natural disaster or a fire, they would help. Yeah, but hopefully who wants to, you don't want to have to be in that position, but that is and he's going to be answering some questions, not answering questions, but discussing it. It's not going to be live. It's going to be on Monday. But you know what? I should have done it live with him, but they only work Monday through Friday. But you know what? Maybe that's an idea. Maybe I'll see if one of these times I can get someone from the Red Cross to come on and do a live with me. I'll see. I'll see how this. Go over and check out that video that I did earlier today, and if it gets a lot of views, maybe they would be willing to come out and do a live. Um, Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris says, I'll be in Quartzsite. Okay, okay. I'll be off Plamosa Road. That's where I'm going to be having my meetup. And I'm also going to be over at the long term over south, in and out of there. I'm going to be all over, but that's where I mostly is going to be on Plamosa Road. So I hope that we can meet up, but I will be, once I get out there and establish exactly where we'll be on Plamosa Road, I will, on one of my lives, I will put out the pin, whatever that pin is. I don't know how to give coordinates, so I'll have to have someone there figure out the coordinates, and then I'll give them to you guys. Crystal and La Granga says, hello, blissful adventures, saying everyone and everyone I may have missed. Oh my goodness. Amy says, my husband and I are interior painters. Oh, okay. But I work on canvas with acrylics, mostly abstract contemporary. Wow. Nora, your art is gorgeous. Isn't her artwork beautiful? Nora is so talented. Crystal says, my van shakedown is when I'm purging, and redoing my van layout before going to Quartzsite. Oh, well, I have to check it out. Hey, Alma Prentice says, good morning, ma'am Carol. Alma, I tried sending you something. I haven't given up, but they asked me if I knew who I was sending this money to. And when I said I hadn't met you, they refused to allow me to send it. So I've got to try again and see if I can do it. I had this problem once before trying to send money. Apparently, if you tell them, especially when they found out I was 70, I guess they thought I was feeble minded and was being scammed. But I will try again, Alma. But apparently they have these guidelines. See, when I went through, used to go to Walmart, you didn't have these guidelines. You just gave them your money, gave them the address, information. They didn't ask a lot of questions, and you sent them money. Not with these MoneyGram and things that you go through at these different stores. When you pick up the phone and you go through or ask they go through this whole litany of questions. How do you know this person? Who is this person? What's your relationship with them? All these questions, especially when they find out you're an older person. So I will try again, Alma, but has been a problem, and I've tried twice now, and so far I've had a problem. But anyhow, I guess I didn't want to really lie, but anyhow, I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to try and couch the truth in a palatable way to them. Anyhow, Margaret Hutchins says, not ignoring you all, finishing up my supper. Okay. Hey, Tim from Mo Bang for your bucks. No more no bang for Tim. He's Mo Bang now. Oh my goodness. Remember when I tried to block someone and I blocked Tim? Oh, thank goodness you're back on. Hey, Simply Senora. CTV says, Carol, they're afraid that you're being scammed. I know. And maybe I am, but I had given my word that I would send something to Alma. So I'm going to follow through or try to, and we'll see what happens. Lily says, glad they protected folks, though maybe inconvenient, but still cool. Yeah, it is kind of cool. It is cool. All right, I'm going to try, what happens, to send my link so that Nora can come up and do her thing over here. So let's see if we can get it up. Oh my goodness, the first try. That has never happened. So Nora, you were meant to come up today and give your live painting demonstration. It's not going up here. Well, hopefully it will get up soon. There it is. Okay, under Glorious Life on Wheels, Nora, if you hit that link, it will bring you up to what's called the basement, and then I can hit you and bring you up. And Nora is going to give a live demonstration. I have two things I really wish I could do. Well, a lot of things I wish I could do. I wish I could paint, and I wish I was a great singer. and I'm neither one. What can I say? I'm strictly a sing in the shower kind of girl. But oh my goodness, I was at a little get together for Jessica with some of her friends today, and the father of the boy who's having the get together, I was mentioning that, remember you guys, I want to learn how to surf. I'd mentioned that a while back. He used to be a surfing coach. So he told me, he goes, "You want to learn to surf? I will teach you how to surf." So come this summer, I'm going to be learning how to surf. He said he's going to teach me first on a body board. You go out and I don't know, but anyhow, I have a GoPro if I can find it somewhere. So I'm going to hook it up. So hopefully I can take some footage while I'm out there on the bodyboard. So this summer coming up, some fun things are going to be coming up. Also, next week, the Red Cross conclusion of the interview, and hopefully I'll get up that Randy Jones interview and tour and so much more. And just a lot of things coming up, a lot of fun things coming up. Oh, I see Nora's here. Hello, let me get her on here. Hello.
Hello, my dear.
I know, a brilliant artist, and here she is, Nora. Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you. Thank
So
you.
what are you going to be demonstrating today?
Last week I went to an Asian market, which I go to all the time, and I bought a whole bunch of these gorgeous tangerines. And I don't like tangerines at all, but they were so beautiful because they have the leaves on them.
Uh-huh.
And I already did one painting of them, and I'm just so happy with it. So I thought I'd do a tiny one, and just
Okay.
at least I could, depending on how much time we have here, I can at least get some of it started, and then I can post the final one in my Instagram tomorrow.
That sounds like a plan. What we'll do is you can show us what you're doing, and I'll go back and forth between the comments and asking you questions.
Sure.
And people who are on who have questions, they want to ask you about your technique and what you're doing and the medium. Now, are you going to do it in that, what's it called, ganache, or what is that?
Gouache.
Ganache.
Well, I never heard someone say it that way. Gouache.
Gouache.
Technically, it's an opaque watercolor, but it's a water-based medium.
Okay. So water-based, so it's easy to clean up afterwards.
Very easy to clean up. It's portable. I bring it with me in my tote bag every day, and I just love it.
So what's the difference between that and regular watercolor? You say it's opaque, where the other one is just kind of transparent. Okay, so it's a thicker.
Yes, it's creamier, and you can apply it creamier. Almost, I'm just looking at it. You can apply it creamier like oil paints or acrylics. But oil paints is like a whole other saga. I don't have the space logistically for it. I don't want to get involved with it.
Okay.
But you can apply the paint in that way, so you have just a whole other way of expressing yourself. Watercolors I do a few times a week as well.
Okay, hold on. Let me answer this question. Crafty Traveler wanted to know, says, I want to learn how to swim. I mean, to surf. How good a swimmer am I? Not that great. I'll probably be wearing a life jacket, although I don't know how well that'll go. And Brenda Berner says, I'll go surfing with you. Okay. Adventurous Spirit says, Carol, you have to share your surfing with us. I love learning new things, so that should be a lot of fun. Well, you know what, Pam, you should come out with me, and that would be even more fun if I can do it with someone. And Alma's giving me her location. Alma, I got that location. You were kind enough to give that to me on Gmail. I did try that. They didn't even want the location, because once they found out that I didn't personally know you, had not met you. But I'm going to try again, and I may get a different operator who won't be as won't grill me as much. But Crafty Traveler says, I have painted with gouache. Gouache. So squash, but gouache. Okay.
You pronounce it Gwash. That's how you would pronounce it. It's a French word.
Okay. Someone says, Nora, turn your phone sideways.
What?
Turn your phone sideways.
First, let me change the camera because.
Are you using your phone?
Yeah, I want to reverse the camera so it's facing um my art, my painting.
Okay.
Let me see something.
And they said turn it around so it's not vertical. Is it standing up and down? Turn it so it's horizontal.
I had this trouble when I did a live demo. I have no clue how to wait.
Okay. Well, while Nora's figuring that out, let me go back to the
How's that?
comments. You have your phone, is your phone like straight up and down? Let me look over here for a second, Nora. Have your phone like this
Okay.
instead of like this.
That's what I do have that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we don't see, but you're gonna. I guess you're
All
gonna
you need
put.
to see is this
Okay.
and part of the tangerines. I
All right.
can't set it up so that you can see everything. I just can't get it to go that high up.
Okay. Maybe you can put it down closer then to the painting. Yeah, like that, so we can see your brush strokes better.
Okay.
Okay, so now what do? You do a complete background of
What
wash on it?
what I did with this particular one, I've fallen in love with this color. It's a muted violet, and I
Okay.
applied a light wash of it. It's actually an acrylic ink, and I did this hours ago to let it dry completely. And I
So
just
that's
love it.
not so is that's not gouache, the background?
The back on this one, the background. I'm going to show you a sample of a finished piece. Can you see that?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's the same. I'm doing the same type of a look because I just love this.
Okay. That's beautiful. That's like still, is that called still life?
That's a still life. Yeah.
Okay. Tim, she says she has her phone sideways.
I
So
can't set it up to see everything. I tried this. I did a live demo with an artist in France about a month or half ago, and I couldn't get it to show everything for the life of me. I just couldn't figure out how to do it, and I didn't want to take any more time trying to screw around with it.
okay, yeah, let's just get started with the painting itself.
Okay.
So did you do that in white or did you just paint the outline of the
I did the outline of the tangerines in a yellowish white.
and that's gouache, that paint that you use?
This is all gouache now that I'm using.
Okay,
I'm
all
gonna be
right.
using gouache for the rest of the piece.
Okay. Our Tim says press on. Now,
So
Crafty
initially,
Traveler is asking, what is the surface you're painting on?
it's a small watercolor block. It's watercolor paper,
Oh, okay.
and this one has a little bit of a texture to it, which I actually usually don't prefer anymore. But so what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of looking. I'm looking at the tangerines. They're sitting on my counter, which is
So
my
now,
duty.
how are you going to cover up that dark color to get the orange?
I'll show you. Well, first I'm just mixing the dark color because I'm trying to show, where the shadows are.
Okay.
Usually I work when you're working with gouache. For me, I usually work dark to light. So I'm just putting in the darker areas. This is just like the sketch part. This is not going to be. And the thing about gouache is, even though it's dark, once that dries, I'm gonna make it. I can go over it with a light color, and you won't see that. You'll be able to see the light color as well. I'll show you
Okay.
right now.
Okay. So we're going to be watching that, and I'm going to be talking also
Sure.
to Blissful Venture says, I'm here in Connecticut with 38-degree weather. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Um, are you Blissful Ventures, are you going to be coming out to Quartzsite? How many people on the live today are coming out to Quartzsite? Um, uh, this in January are going to be there for the birthday bash on the 21st. I'm just trying to get an idea. Should I do a potluck? Should I maybe just have finger foods? Well, I'm trying to, maybe have some music. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So you guys have any suggestions? Judith is saying, I would send you some heat, Blissful, but we don't have any today. No, it's in the 60s today, so it's not that warm. Oh, thanks, Mo Bang. Tim is putting Nora's Instagram. Now, Nora, do you have you do greeting cards? Do you do greeting cards?
I haven't done greeting cards in a long time. It's you know all of these different ways of selling, they're not as easy as one might think. Like there's like so many positives and negatives to each one. What I am doing right now is I just left a few originals with an a museum quality printer, and
Okay.
they're going to create some prints of a few pieces. I picked out some favorites of mine and pieces that I think would be, sellable, that people would be interested in for the subject matter.
Well, the one that I did of the two men fishing, I think that is a beautiful, beautiful painting, and that's something I think would people would buy.
The one
I
that
think
the one that you posted for the live of the
yes, yes.
okay. Yeah, it's not one that I'm getting printed out right now. I the printing process that I want is it's not cheap, because I
Oh,
want them to
okay.
come out as beautiful, like where you wouldn't even know the difference between the original and you know, I want it to be really good quality and done with really good quality printing inks, so that,
Okay.
it's got good light fastness and it's not going to fade.
Okay.
And it just takes time, to get them scanned and get the right person to do
So
it. So
it's not a quick process then.
it's not for me. I mean, I'm sure there are simpler ways to do it, I'm sure.
But you want a high quality and want it to look
I
good.
do, because
Okay.
I'm not doing this like a million times a year. I when I first started painting again after a 20-year hiatus, I I learned about the printing. It's called G Clay, and
Okay.
it's archival, museum quality. Can you see what
Okay.
I'm doing on this piece? Is
I do.
everything's
I
clear?
do. Now
Good.
Judith says Judy's coming out to the meetup. Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris is going to be there. Cool. Crystal Lagrange, Brenda Berner and her husband are coming. Oh my goodness. Crafty Traveler says I'll be at Q from January 7th to 24th. I hope to come to your birthday bash on the 21st. Very cool. Pam says I'll be there for your birthday. I think finger foods and music. Okay. Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris says, I vote for a barbecue potluck. All right. Well, we have a little time. I may talk to another couple I know. She's a great chef, and see if she's going to be out there or not. I may have some talk with her a little bit. Crafty Traveler says, I did watercolor Christmas cards for my family. Oh my goodness. My favorite thing to paint in watercolor or gouache are postcards. So do you ever do any postcards, Nora?
Yeah, I'm looking for bigger fish,
Okay. Okay.
to be honest.
All
You
right. So
know,
Margaret Hutchins says potlucks are lots of fun. They can be dangerous because it all tastes so good, but it's fun to taste other people's specialties. It is. Mo Bang says, oh, are you going to do the barbecue, Chris? Yeah. Hey, Chris, are you going to do the barbecue? We'll have to talk, Chris, and make some plans. Uh, oh my goodness. Mo Bang says, Margaret, bite size for each item. Rocco Huckleberry Chris says, I can, but I think the Tampa barbecue queens have more experience. I've never done big groups. Well, maybe just everyone do a little bit and we'll figure it out. And as it gets closer to it, I want to have some music because I think it'd be fun to dance. What do you guys think? Would be fun to dance? And I don't know how to do speakers and all that stuff. So I don't know about having a DJ or someone like that. We'll have to see. Now I'm looking at Nora. So now you were saying you did the shadows, but now you kind of covered up the shadows, or are you leaving some there still?
I'm leaving some, and I'm just going to blend them into the orangey color that I'm putting down.
Okay.
So while I let
Okay.
that dry, I'm going to, there's, if you can see, there's like a very intense shadows underneath the tangerines because it's sitting on my kitchen counter. My kitchen
Yeah, I
counter,
see that the shadows underneath, especially the one in front. And then actually the back one kind of behind the front one, some shadow.
right. And
I've
once I
always
do
wondered
that,
how do you
it really makes it pop.
the shadows, yeah.
Yeah. It gives it, the three-dimensional, if you can see what I'm doing now.
Now, do you do commission work where if someone had a scene they wanted done
Ab-
that they could send it to you and you would work out
Absolutely.
a oh, do you? Okay. So there Nora does commission work if someone has something you want done. And how would they reach you?
They could reach me with my email address, which is norakag123@gmail.com.
Okay, so that's Norakag, Norakag 123 at gmail.com. So
Right.
those of you, if you're interested in having her do, so what typically what size commission work do you do?
So far, I've done up to like 9.5 by 12 is my largest so far.
So
I've done
nine
some
and a half by
six
12.
inches by 9 inches, but mostly 8 by 10 and 9 by 12.
Okay.
And I obviously have to see what people are requesting, but so I can give you a range of pricing. And last year and the year before, the bulk of my income was from, I had a few incredible customers, um, and I'm just looking at the paint while and I did so many commissions between three customers. They just kept asking me for more and more and more. It was
Wow.
great. Yeah,
Before we leave, can you bring a few of your other completed works over and just show us?
sure,
Is that possible?
sure. Wait, let me just put this.
Now
I'll let
CTV says CTV is planning on coming out. Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris says dancing. I'll need a few beers, a few beers first. Judy's asking Tim, when are you heading to Quartzsite? Oh my goodness. Crafty Traveler says, Nora, what size is the painting you are doing now? What size is that?
this one is tiny. It's like a 6 by 4, 4 inches by 6. I just wanted to keep it small because I knew I was going to have a very small, limited time. This
Right.
one is 6 by 10 with the three
Okay.
tangerines. This
Can
is
you
six
turn
by
them
ten.
around? Can you turn them the other way?
Tell me when
Yeah,
to
like
stop
that.
because I
Okay.
can't
And then
see.
move them up some. Move them up, up,
To the camera.
down and forward. I should have said move them forward some. No, forward. Uh-oh. But I think people get the idea. Those are beautiful.
If they go to my Instagram page, I'm Norakag on Instagram. I've
Okay,
I've
Lil
I've
Bang
I've
just put up your
posted
Etsy store.
I've posted more than maybe 1,400 paintings on there. I've been posting daily for the last 3 to 3.5 years. So I have paintings, I've got sketches, I go urban sketching. I do sketches every day if I'm not painting. Can you see this one?
You have to put it you have it up you have to put it you have it the wrong direction. You have to put it like that. So now is that in a park somewhere?
Yep. It's a
Okay.
nearby park. When I'm not in the mood to drive too far, I go to a city park near my house. It's about 15 minutes away. And I just find some gorgeous trees or somebody sitting there in a beach chair, getting some sun. I go wherever I can. I don't need to go to Scotland to be inspired.
Right.
This
Adele
is a
says small art is perfect for a van. It is small little pieces like that.
I have loads of small pieces, loads. I
Oh my
mostly work like 6 by 8 inches, 6 by 9 inches. So for me to do like, I recently did one of this beautiful old cottage. It's a scene from in Vermont,
goodness.
and I asked the photographer permission. She said, absolutely. And people just flipped out over it. And that was the biggest size I've done so far, which was like 9.5 by 12.
Do you
And
have that? Can you show that to us?
I don't. I left it at the printers. It's actually getting
Oh,
printed.
okay.
Here's one of a guy that was sitting on a park bench waiting for his wife.
You know what your artwork reminds me, or the inspiration reminds me of? You
What?
know, even though it's very different, it's like creating content for YouTube. And you'll be walking somewhere, or I'll hear something, or someone will say something, and it'll trigger a thought that will then trigger an idea for a video. So it's creativity, but it's and from coming from an entirely different place, where yours is really a talent and a skill. I guess mine is kind of a skill, but not in the same way.
They're
Yours is a
all,
tangible.
you know what, Carol? They're all skills. And it's a matter of everybody can do way more than they think they can, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's the YouTube channel. It all takes skill and a 5% talent, and the rest is working your butt off. The rest is the brush mile. They have a saying, brush mileage. I
Okay.
stopped painting for 20 years. And when I started again, the first piece I made was horrible. I was embarrassed by it. And that's why it took me so long to get started again, because I knew it's not like riding a horse. It's not like getting back on a bicycle. You have to work at it daily. And it's
I
like
would
any,
imagine it's like say if a person was an ice skater and they didn't ice skate for 3 or 4 years, they would lose a lot of that skill. I mean, they're still
absolutely they would.
they they have the ability maybe to get it back depending on their physical abilities, but they wouldn't be able to do the jumps and the all the things. They would have to almost start over. They would have the mental knowledge, but the skills they have to build up again.
Right.
And was that kind of like it for you with painting?
It was almost like starting from scratch for several reasons. I It was like I had to relearn all kinds of stuff about paints, about pigments, things that I never even remember from, you know, years of training. I went to art high school, I went to art college. I had private tutoring with a Chinese watercolor master. My mother was a sculptress, and it
Wow.
was like I never heard all these things, thank goodness for YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't be doing this. I truly don't, because I learned so many things from there
Well,
that
it seems like you know what, they use that phrase YouTube University, and it truly is.
absolutely. And I think I just kind of woke up to a whole other kind of world. I learned about, I was trained in watercolors. I was trained as an illustrator. I went out to at least 50 publishers to get work as a children's book illustrator.
Oh, wow.
And
Adventurous Spirit 66 says Nora is very talented. And Sylvia Torres says, beautiful painting, Nora. I love greenery scene. And
thank you.
Margaret says, yes, small art is perfect for a van. Thank you, Tim, for putting up all of Nora's information there.
Thank you,
Crafty
Tim.
Traveler, Crafty Traveler says, yep, I've heard that term, brush mileage. Oh
Brush
my goodness.
mileage, you have to put out of, I think I started, I don't know if it's 5 years now or 6 years, and I've completed hundreds and hundreds. I'm not saying it to as a bragging thing, but hundreds and hundreds of paintings and about 35 watercolor books, which each have maybe 30 to 40 pages in each one.
Mhm.
They're all filled up because
Wow.
every day I do something. If I don't feel like doing a major piece, I just sketch my coffee cup. I have hundreds of sketches of my coffee cup.
Well,
I just,
it's kind of like writing. The more you write, the
yep,
better you get, and the more quickly you can get something finished. And it sounds like there were some similarities in that way. CTV is asking me, Maybe I can do music at the birthday bash using karaoke machine. Mo Bang says a karaoke contest. Bring your own music piece to karaoke.
Oh, that's
Okay.
scary.
Ranvel asks, is that watercolor? It's gouache, which
Good girl.
according to
Gouache.
Nora is a opaque form of watercolor, Ranvel.
I do work in watercolors as well. I do a lot of work in watercolors as well. Those are I didn't do that purposely tonight because for me it's nighttime here because it would take longer for each layer to dry. The gouache dries fairly quickly. So
Okay.
I just felt like it would be an easier way to go.
I'm amazed at how quickly you're able to bring this. I mean, this is happening. You're doing this very quickly, I think. I mean, you
Yeah,
started out with just an outline and now you've got, the shades. And someone else asked again what the background color is.
the background color isn't I just learned I've been learning over the last year or so about toning the paper, which means you can either paint it, you can either buy a paper that already has color, like a gray colored paper
Uh-huh.
or a black paper or beige color, tan, like a craft, like craft paper. And
Okay.
then because gouache is opaque, you can paint on all these wonderful colors and they just sort of help the painting pop. This
Well,
piece,
let me
um,
ask you this. How do you get, I'm looking and seeing, kind of the light on it. How do you make it look like there's light on it?
it's a lot of practice and a lot of observation. I can stare at these tangerines for hours and see something I didn't see before. I've just been learning. I've just been learning how to observe something, how to observe the light, how to, the whole thing about painting in any medium is that it's a two-dimensional thing. And you're kind of tricking the viewer into a three-dimensional, to believe that it's three-dimensional,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
because
it's
it does
not.
look very three-dimensional. Oh, back to the karaoke. Mo Bang says he has a karaoke system that will make anyone sound like a professional singer. Okay, well, maybe we need to have a karaoke contest. I'll have to talk to you, Tim, and check out your system and see. We'll see. That would save me money and not getting a DJ, that's for sure. Tampa Barbecue Queens says, Nora, you need to turn your art into digital art and into NFTs, passive income.
Nope,
Now,
not gonna
Baby
do it.
Girl and the Beast is asking, what are NFTs? I'm asking it too. What is NFTs?
I
I don't
don't
know.
I don't remember what it stands for, but I do not I don't buy it. There's a lot of scammers out there. They've been approaching me like crazy, and I just don't believe in it. And if I don't understand it, I'm not doing it. Um,
Okay.
it's a way
Hey,
of
Red.
selling the image without selling a physical thing. You're selling like these tokens or something to your
Huh.
image. It's a very strange thing that I
Oh,
just
okay.
don't get.
I, hey, I'm, even though Pam from Adventurous Spirits said that I'm becoming technical, I'm not. I don't get any of this stuff. Hey, Red. Red is here from Redheaded Riding Hood is here. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Red.
Adventurous Spirit says, Red, I've been enjoying the pics with you and your beautiful granddaughter. I know. Red has a baby girl and she is so gorgeous. And it looks like she's going to be a redhead too, is what it looks like. Oh my goodness. Hey, Glenna. Hello, hello. Glenna says, Carol, I'm sorry I'm late getting on, but we'll go back and watch the replay. Well, we're just chatting and watching Nora do. She started a small painting, watercolor, gouache, and it's just coming along just beautiful, beautiful. Oh my
Thank you.
goodness. Oh, so, and several people have said they're coming out to the um to my birthday bash, and maybe some folks will be there for a meetup too. Now I'm wondering how many people actually have started prepping or are going to consider prepping, at least in a minor way, to be prepared should there be some kind of emergency or power outage or something, even if you're in a van or an RV, how many people on here are even preppers in a very small way? I'm just curious to see. Red says, I'm still in Philly and we'll be back to Denver tomorrow night. Okay, all right, spending time with the grand. But how many people are preppers? Is there anyone on here who has been doing any prepping, putting food or water aside, or doing any of that stuff? I'm kind of curious to see if anyone's doing that. Crystal Lagrenga says, I prep a bit. Okay. Dell says, yes, I'm prepping with power, water, food, etc. Okay. All right. So a few people are. I know I have started, and I'm water and food. And a lot of the stuff that I showed in the video were my supplies. In fact, most of the stuff there were my supplies. Glenna says, I've purchased some canned goods. Okay. Adventurous Spirit 60 says, I thought I was ready, but after watching your video, I need to add a lot more items. Yeah, I think there are things you don't think of. We actually forgot to mention two things, and that was cash. We had talked about it earlier, and then we got sidetracked. But small denominations of cash, like $1 bills, because you may have to buy something or barter something, and you don't want to only have 20s or a 50 or something. And in order to get what you need, you've got to give them all of your money. So small bills, and also matches, especially waterproof matches, and lighters, to if you have to light. Now I have my butane stove is something that has automatic ignition, but if you had to use charcoal or something, you want to be able to light it with a match or something. Linda Bentley says, wish I could be there. January 21st is my birthday. Oh my goodness. Well, happy birthday, Linda, in advance. Sylvia Torres says, I've been prepared since last year. Never know. Still have to add more. That's true. Red says, hi, is saying hi. And I'm back in Denver tomorrow night late. CTV says, I have food and power, heat type provisions. Yes, if it's in cold, really cold temperatures, if you live somewhere where it snows, you do want to make sure that you have something to keep warm. I find that down comforters are just amazing as far as helping to keep you warm. A down comforter and even a wool blanket are very good. Adele says, Tim, I like that Coleman lantern that you had on your video. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Ranvel says electric lighters are cool. Yes. Crystal says medications for people that normally take them are a must too. Yes. Having I know they were talking about a minimum of 3. She was talking about a minimum of 3 days medication. I actually have a 30-day supply of medications because if something happens and there was a disruption in the supply chain, if you have need diabetic medication or heart medication or blood pressure or some of those things, or blood thinners, you really don't want to have to go without them. Brenda says, my husband and I do prep. We have an overhead camper with all the things I need except a washer and a dryer. That is great, Brenda. I think that's smart. Tampa Barbecue Queen says firewood. Yes, firewood. And even I have a small little axe that I could chop up some wood if I needed to with it. Crafty Traveler says, sorry, I think it's all scare tactics. It's not, Crafty Traveler. It's really not. And we're not saying that, the world's coming to an end, but we're saying there are things that are happening. There are more and more natural disasters, from forest fires to hurricanes in places that there weren't before, to power outages. And not only power outages by sabotage, but sometimes power outages, like my brothers in the Bay Area, they were out of power for 5 days because the utility company turned off their power to prevent forest fires. So it's not about being scaring people. It's just about saying, hey, at least have a few things that could tide you over for a few days. Mo Banks says, I'm about to build a shed that has solar panels on its roof and charging station and battery bank inside of it. I think that's a great idea. Tim, I'll have to come up to your house. Crystal Lagrange says, whether it is a scare or not, it's best to be prepared at least with food and water and medications. I have to agree. Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris says, I have a water filter, can hunt and trap and forage. Oh, wow. You're really ahead of the game. I can start a fire with wood or a flint. Oh, my goodness. Tampa Bay Barbecue Queen says, Mo Bang, I need some of those things. We have 2 tiny houses. You have 2 tiny houses, Tampa Bay Queens? Now, how is that? Do you live in both? Did you rent one out? I'm really into tiny houses and planning on getting one done. Oh, one of the holy says, there's my sister-in-law, Amy. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everyone. She is coming out with a hot sauce. Oh my goodness, my sister-in-law is putting out her own hot sauce. Do you believe that? When she's up to the point where she is able to get it out in volumes, we're going to be talking about it. Also, someone else who's a fabulous, I mean, fabulous cook, Lisa D's Delights. Oh my goodness, that woman can cook. In fact, my brother Donald tried her ham recipe for Thanksgiving and he said it was mind blowing. She's coming out with the seasonings. Do you believe that? All these people coming out being so entrepreneurial. Hey, I missed a couple comments, so coming back around. Sylvia Torres says it's always good to be prepared. Yes. One of the holy says, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Amy. Margaret says, do you observe restrictions such as with the wood so that ash borer doesn't spread? I haven't really had to burn wood, so I don't know. Does anyone else have comments about that? Because I know you don't want ash to spread and start a fire. I do know that. And there's some places you actually cannot start actual fires because of fire restrictions because of how dry it is. Red says, crafty travel. Yes, I lean towards that and I have anxiety already. I have more than enough and God will take care of the rest. Well, I do believe in God. He'll take care of the rest. But I look at the Bible and he talked about the ants, how commended the ants for being so wise to store up their supplies in the summer for winter. So, I mean, if he's talking about ants being wise for storing up supplies, baby girl in the bee says, yes. What's your address, Tim? You may have some people at your doorstep, Tim. Oh my goodness.
Tim's gonna have one of these, oh my God, what did I just start?
I know. Adventurous Spirit says, I live in a high fire zone in Southern Cal. Yep. And we can be evacuated or the power company can turn off our power when the winds are high. Having a goat bag is a necessity for me. Yes. There are a lot of us that live in those kind of areas. I know I live in an area that about 100 houses burned down in my community. And I could see the fire from the end of the block from my house. I could see the flames. So yeah, it does pay to have a go bag and some supplies. Mo Bang says, baby girl, you think that I will post it in here? Although the place where I was at today, they have a huge compound. I mean, they have like, a swimming pool, tennis court. I mean, it's really an estate and they have lots and lots of land and everything. And he told us, he said, if anyone, we ever have really get bad, he said, just come up here and we'll all hunker down together. So I said, he may not think I'm gonna take him up on that, but I will be taking him up on that if that happens. Tampa Barbecue Queen says, one is a house and the other is the garage, but the wives are already want to add solar. Well, that's a great idea. Oh my. Baby girl in the bee says, Nora, will you be there at the bash? I need help learning to paint.
No, I won't. I'm in New York.
No, she's in New York. Oh, that is really coming along, Nora. Now, you added the gray over the kind of dark purple. What made you decide to do that?
You mean under the shadow?
No, well, you had all the background was kind of that purple. Now you added that.
This light thing. I just love the texture of it. I I don't know why. I just love it.
Okay. So
It's
sometimes you just decide to add different shades or different colors on there?
yeah, I just look at it and I just think about, if it would need something. And I usually don't cover up the entire background because I love how it pops through and it kind of helps just create interest in the
Okay.
painting.
Yes.
Um, I just love the texture of that, you know. It,
Margaret Hutch has said, oh, CTV says, I've got so many things at dollar store. Yes, you can stock up on batteries and matches only. That's true. That is so true. CTV says food is only getting more expensive. Why not have a few months of food? Food is getting expensive. Isn't it crazy? I was telling you guys, I think a couple of months ago, I went into the grocery store and they had alarms on the meat. Do you believe that? Alarms. So if you went out, you ripped off the meat, it would alarm. I guess people, if for them to be doing that, people must be stealing the meat. But can you imagine that? Rocky
my
Mountain
husband would have
Huckleberry.
loved that idea. He owned three supermarkets. He would have
Rocky
loved
Mountain
that.
Rocky Mountain Huckleberry Chris said, if I need to survive, I'm sure I won't care about fire restrictions. Well, probably not. Probably not. Debbie Johnson says Randy Jones will be in Quartzsite from the 21st to the 29th. Oh, very cool. I'm only going to be there. I'm going to be leaving on the 22nd, but so I may miss Randy, but I will definitely be trying to make arrangements to go back to Tennessee, hopefully to Tennessee, because I really want to tour his little community, because all of you know that I've been wanting to build a little tiny house village with a combination of tiny houses, RV spots, and maybe just some plain dry camping spots. So, um, Baby Girl and the Bee says, yes, CTV, I always stock up on food deals. I do too. I do too. Red is saying it's really pretty, Nora. That is beautiful, Nora. That really is lovely.
I think I'm
I
going to
mean,
stop right there. What?
so how many of those could you actually do that size a day? If you were on just a marathon during the day, what could you do?
Well, I don't really. Um, I wouldn't be able to do a marathon because you run out of steam.
Oh, okay.
It's not a machine. It's like, all right, I did this, I'm done, and then let me go out and go for a drive, and maybe if something hits me,
Right.
I mean, if I'm working on a commission, I had a couple of commissions that had a Christmas deadline, last year, and I started like, 2 months before that because I hate
Okay.
pressure. I had enough of that in my life.
Okay.
And um
Well, that
I
is beautiful. Can you turn it the other, turn it to the, yeah, like that's, and move it a little more to your left so we can see it a little better. Yes, there. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
thank you.
The tangerines are. Who would think tangerines could be so appealing? But there are a lot of. Is that called still life?
Anything where you're painting a still subject, like if I paint my coffee cup or some fruit or a couple of glasses or my art supplies, even I do sketches of my art supplies sometimes, they're all still lifes. All of
Okay.
that is considered a still life. Then you have landscapes, then you have portraits. But yeah, this is a still life.
Okay.
So
Adventure.
normally what I would do now is like, leave it alone. I mean, obviously because of time constriction, but I would just leave it and take a photograph of it and then look. I would study the photograph because the tendency for every artist, I don't care who they are, is to overwork a piece. Like it's very hard to know when to stop and say, I'm calling it done. Like
Okay.
when is that? It's such a subjective thing. And sometimes it's the easiest way to screw up a painting and, you know, it could be magical and just wonderful. And then you do something and it's like too much.
So
So
that's a temptation of all artists. You're saying to keep going
it
when
is
you really
because,
should stop.
it is, and it's understandable because, you're kind of in the zone and you're enjoying it. And also what happens is that when you're up close looking at something for an hour or 2 hours, however long you're doing it, you can't see it. You can't see it the right way anymore. Your eyes don't
Okay.
see it. So you need to back away. That's why when you see artists who do oil painting, they back away a lot from their work because you cannot see it. Your eyes don't see it properly. And you tend to
Okay.
just do too much and then louse it up.
Okay. I think that could be also with a recipe. You have it where
Yep.
it's good and you think I can get this a little bit better and you add a little more and then you mess it up and then you try to get it back and it's hard to get it back to where it was.
Right. You can
Okay.
go
So
too
I
far. You know, your
okay.
intentions are wonderful, but you got to know when to stop, and with artwork, the supplies are the paints are expensive, your paper is expensive, and you just, for me, I mean, I'm doing this for love. I'm definitely doing
Okay.
this for love, but of
Okay.
course I want to sell them. I wanted to say something also. I'm just plugging one thing. If anybody that's on the Globy on the live right now, if you do go to my Etsy shop and you just don't press buy, just let me know which one. Like, tell me the title of the painting if you're interested in one, and just email me, message me on Etsy, and I'll give you a discount, a 10% discount and free shipping if it's in the United States, the
Wow,
continental
Doris,
United
that is
States.
so cool. Thank you.
Just let me
That
know that you're a Globy and you're in.
that's
But if
very generous. Could you say what your email account is again?
Norakag 123 at gmail.com.
Let me see if I can make a banner without uh I don't know if I can do that. I think I better not.
Or you can
Okay.
also go to my Instagram feed where I have hundreds of pieces posted. And if you see something there that you're interested in, just send me a private message on Instagram and I can let you know if it's available and how much it would be. Let me know that
Okay.
you're a Globy.
Everyone's telling me to make the screen bigger. Now you guys know I don't know how to do that stuff. How do I do that? Can someone tell me so I can make it bigger without cutting her off or shutting down the feed? If anyone can tell me how to do it, I will do it. This Margaret says she had a neighbor once who would turn his paintings upside down and backwards through a mirror to
Right.
have another look at his paintings in progress.
Right. A lot of artists do that because it's one way of when artists go out and they do plein air painting where they're going out with their easel or their, you know, pad and they're painting something from life, nature. They usually will stand back and they'll have a little mirror and they'll turn around and just look at the painting through the mirror or turn it upside down, because the most important thing with painting, even with something like this, is shapes. Like, the whole time I'm painting, I'm looking at the shape of the shadows. I'm looking at the shape of where the light is hitting it. It's pretty dramatic because I have spotlights over me. I'm looking at the shape of the shadow under the object. I'm looking at the shape of the shadows on the tangerine itself, because those are all the ways that you give this illusion of depth. I mean, this is 2D. This is not a three-dimensional thing, the painting. And you're giving an
Okay.
illusion that is three-dimensional.
All right. Thank you. Someone gave me instructions. So can you turn it a little more to your right so we can see it a little better?
The painting?
Yeah, a little more to your right. No, turn it down a little to your right. You have it up to the corner. Put the right side down a little bit. Yeah, just like that. All right. So can you guys see that better now and compare that with now? Why didn't you guys tell me how to do this a long time ago? Oh my goodness. We could have been watching her do it on a large scale a long time ago. Well, next year at some point we'll have Nora back and have her do another one. But that is gorgeous. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I
Oh my
I
goodness.
really appreciate, giving me the time and letting me share, show everybody this is my life. You know, 12 months
It's
a year.
it's just beautiful, and the fact that you did it so quickly, and I was going to say it looks so professional, but you are a professional, so that's a dumb thing to say. But that is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Nora, thank you so much for sharing that. And we will definitely have to have you back on. And Red did a thing of your Etsy store.
Okay.
And thank you so much. Also, I had a question and I think it's been answered, but who is Randy Jones? Randy Jones has a company called Incredible Tiny Homes, and that's, I think, the name of his YouTube channel. He also has Incredibox. It's like a tiny home he builds for $20,000, which is almost unheard of. And you can do different things, prep and stuff. You can make it off grid, I think, for another 7 to 10,000. But anyhow, that is who Randy Jones is. Mo Banks says choose different screen options under your main screen. You're late to the party, Tim. Red already told me what to do. Valerie Hancock says I had to throw a lot away due to summer. Oh, starting again. Oh, well, what you do have to do is if you're prepping, you do have to rotate stuff out. Use it up and replace it so that, it doesn't go bad. But I have some of that food that's 25 years. So, uh-oh, Nora went off. Okay, well, anyhow, so Red says, Carol, I just got here. I would have told you we were getting bait. Yeah, no, Red, I'm appreciated that you told me that. But Mo Bang says, you never ask. Now, Tim, you know me well enough to know that I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. Come on now. But anyhow, you guys got to see the final product and the beautiful end result. So if there anything else, I'm going to see about having a demonstration or someone doing a cooking demonstration. Maybe Lisa D Delights will do a cooking demonstration. If you guys are interested in maybe her doing a Christmas dish next week, let me know. Put a number 1 up and I'll see if I can reach out to her and ask her if she could do something. But Sylvia Torres says, watch Randy Jones. He went to Tiny Fest. Yes, he was at Tiny Fest. I interviewed him. I also did a video tour of the unit that he brought there. So that will be coming up sometime, hopefully next week. Nora says, thanks, everyone. Thank you, Nora. Thank you very much for giving that demonstration of genius in work, a genius at work for sure. Debbie Johnson says, thank you, Nora. I saw 2 school bus paintings I like. I'll send messages through your Instagram. I saw those paintings too, Debbie. Those were very, very cool. Very cool. Mo Bang says, go back to 2 screen option, Carol. Well, she's not in the basement anymore, Tim, so that won't work. I think she turned it off. Valerie says, yes, Tim, I can't see painting. Yeah, Nora came out of the basement. I didn't take her out, so I think she turned it off herself. So CC Camper Lady says, yes. Oh, yes, cooking. Okay. Debbie says, thank you and good night, all. Good night, everyone. And Debbie. But before we go, because it's after 4 o'clock, anyone who this is your first time in the house, would you please put a number 1 so that I can acknowledge you? Because you know how we roll, Globies. We want to welcome anyone who this is the first time you're here. We want to say thank you and welcome and let you know that you are appreciated for being in here and you're part of the Globie. We welcome you into the fold. Mo Bang says, very beautiful, Nora. Yeah, it was beautiful. Baby Girl in the Bee says, I have major anxiety, but I can't wait to meet this great group of people. Oh, I can't wait to meet you either, baby girl. Hopefully we'll see you. Nora says she left the basement. Yeah, so she left the basement. So that's why, Tim, you're not seeing her. But I think for me, being prepared and prepping to some degree would help me not have as much anxiety because I know that I have some things that would tide me over in the event of an emergency until help would be available. So that's just me. It would make me feel less anxious. But okay, anyone I don't see anyone saying number 1. Any Baby Girl and the Beast, I don't remember you being in here before. Maybe I missed you last time, but anyone who's the first time saying number 1, get everyone here who is a content creator who has a channel, would you please put a big C up there? Oops, sorry, I hit the I hit my computer. Can you put a big C up there so that we can go over and show you some love? And if anyone is not subscribed to you, that they can go over there and do that. And my moderators, would you please all drop your links? Please drop your links. Moderators and anyone else who's a content creator, put a big C. Yeah, Red, I don't see any ones either. So we're all OG family. And I didn't see Graham in here today. I wonder what him and the missus are doing. Okay, content creators, Red Riding Hood, Glennis Sanoff. Oh, posted 4 videos since attending Lollapalooza. Oh my goodness. Okay, everyone, go over. We got a newbie creator in the house. Go over and give some love to Glenna. Oh my goodness, Glenna, I'm so proud of you. Mo Bang for Your Bucks is a creator. Crystal and La Grenga, CC Camper Lady, Red Hooded Riding Hood. Can all of you go over and give these folks some love? Oh, Baby Girl and the Beast, it's your second time. Okay. Okay. And well, you have to excuse me. My mind is not always the sharpest tool here. But anyhow, welcome. Glad that you're here, Baby Girl and the Beast. So, oh my goodness. Whew, lots been going on, so much going on. I have, honestly, I have about 12 videos I need to edit. Do you believe that? 12 videos, and I have at least 10 more I want to shoot. So I'm trying to, I just loads and loads and loads. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tim dropped Glenna, stay home. Glenna, what is the exact name of your channel, Glenna? Glenna Sandhoff. Let's get the exact name. He's dropped the link over there, and so did Red. But let's get the exact name so we can make sure we get it right, Glenna. Arcuda 2001 Nora says this was fun, everyone. And everyone, I tell you, I know a brilliant, we all know in here a brilliant, talented artist. Aren't we lucky to have someone this talented in our midst? I bet there are a lot of unsung, um, skilled, talented people up in here. I know there are. And we're going to have to start talking and finding out some of all of your skills. Baby Girl says, wanna be C, trying to get started, but I think I need a new channel name. Well, hit me up on Gmail, Baby Girl at Glorious Life on Wheels. I won't probably answer you today, and tomorrow I don't do any business, but next week sometime, and I'll be glad to talk to you about it. I'm probably going to do at least one session at the meetup on how to start a channel, what to do, because your name is important. Because if you want a brand, become a brand, you want a name that will be, that will lend itself to that, and acronyms and that type of thing. So I think it really is important. Your name is important. Uh, okay, her full name, Glenn. Okay, Glenn. So it is Glenna Sandhoff, just your name. Okay, so go over. Her name is Glenna Sandhoff on her channel, same name, and you've got some links dropped from Mobang and Red. All right. Everyone's, and Venturous Spirit is saying thanks for painting live. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. Oh, yes. Valerie Hancock Gallon says, Baby Girl, Alaska Prepper, Lead Farmer. It's Lead Farmer 73, actually, in Survival Living. I actually also, these are my favorite. I like Alaska Prepper. I love Lead Farmer 73, City Prepping. Lead Farmer 73, City Prepping, and Canadian Prepper are probably my 3 favorite prepping channels. Those are probably my 3 favorite. Alaska Prepper I do like too, and Survival Living, but my 3 go-tos are Lead Farmer 73, City Prepping, and Canadian Prepper. Those are my really go-to prep channels, that have, and they're so diverse. They have very different, come at it from different things. Like Lead Farmer does a lot of information on, on planning and growing and canning, and just a lot of things. city prepping, talks about what's happening in the country and prepping and things to do, and he gives kind of an overview. And Canadian prepper, well, he's hardcore. He's out there in the, talking about how to survive in the wilderness. So they're all different, but all bring something to the table that I think is really great. So anyhow, you guys, love each and every one of you. May your lives and your journey be filled with joy and blessings. And go check out that video that I did yesterday on the situation with what's happening with the grid, and also the one I posted this morning on how to prepare and what needs to be in a prep kit. I think you'll find it very interesting and informative from the representative, the preparedness expert from Red Cross. Well, I'm heading out of here. I will see you guys next week. And again, may your journeys be filled with joy and blessing. See you later. Let me see if I can end this broadcast because I usually can't end it. All right.